Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
Business and BS podcast number 2
Numero deuce.
with Mr. Matty Hall.
Thank you so much for having me, my first podcast.
Yeah, let's adjust this thinger here. Where are we at? Are we good? Cool. Yeah, keep that up.
Keep
Look
it
at
right
that.
here.
Yeah, you like that?
I like that.
What's
Keep
good, dude?
Yeah.
Matty Hall, been a minute.
Has been a minute. How you guys doing?
Just
Good,
living the
man.
dream, baby.
Yeah,
living
things
the
are good.
dream.
It's been ever since our skit.
Yeah.
The super agent. Whenever he brings up your name, I'm like, oh, the super agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Super agent. And
Just
you're
that
the,
title
You're the
alone
dream
is
killer.
funny as hell.
There's a couple people that have watched the whole thing through and maybe don't know us that well, and then like saw me playing as if that was semi-real us, and then you get and you slam it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't expecting that.
I think
such a
T
villain.
Mac was legit upset about it.
Yeah.
He like trolled me for a few
T-Mac
posts.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Bag of Donuts, our dude, is the guy that gave me the guitar. So I helped him move some tenants out of his place in Santa Monica, and I said, "Can I have the guitar?" I was going to sell it.
Right.
You know, it looked like a nice guitar for, whatever, $50, make a few bucks. And obviously we didn't. We smashed the shit out of it. And so like him, and then what's the other dude? His boy that we know.
Oh, Clark Kent.
Yeah. He was like, I think he was legit mad about it because he had asked for it too, and then we just smashed the shit
Yeah,
out
the
of it.
skit pissed off a lot of people. I have a scar on my leg.
He seriously does.
A legit scar on my leg, right there.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
That was wild.
I know.
But I think it was.
We
worth it.
should on the video is play the skit on top of this. Can you do that?
I'm sure I can. I can do anything.
So people understand what's going down.
Yeah, we could. Or I'll link it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is it on YouTube?
This could
It's
be
not- it's not on
a perfect
YouTube.
time to like plug your guys' Instagrams.
Yeah.
On your own podcast.
Yeah.
Business and BS.
Yeah, the business and BS.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that we went with that name, by the way.
Yeah, I
we
like
had a
it
couple of different suggestions.
No, I like business and BS.
I think
Yeah.
it flows,
Yeah.
you know? Anyway, speaking business and BS, Maddie, what's up with you, dude? So a little background on you. I know you played at Arizona
I played at Arizona State
State,
for 2 years.
then played baseball.
I played baseball at Auburn my junior year, and then
Pull that up a little bit there, Maddie.
And then I was
There we go.
drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays after my junior year, and I played 5 years in the minor leagues with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
And then I quit and moved to LA.
So 5 years, and you made it up to AAA.
Yeah, so I played up through AAA,
What position?
shortstop,
Mm-hmm.
and then I kind of got into the super utility type role in the minor leagues, which is a decent role, but not really the role you want in the minor leagues.
Really?
You know, it's a great role in the big leagues because you're very versatile, but usually people don't make it to the big leagues as the super utility guy.
Yeah.
And so
Why not?
usually like they'll take like a shortstop and a guy who's put like shortstop all the way up through AAA, and they'll bring him to the big leagues, and if he's a good shortstop, he'll stay shortstop, but if he's not, they'll move him to second base or third base or left field.
Find a spot for him.
Because usually like shortstop and center field is like the two athletic positions on the field, and
Yeah.
then those two, they're very versatile. They can go to left field, right field, wherever. And so usually guys make it as like a shortstop, and then they become a utility guy in the big leagues. It's usually the way it rolls.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so the last year I played, I was just getting like really frustrated with my role, and so I called the head of the minor leagues for the Rays and had like a long conversation with him, and he was pretty honest about where I was going to be the next year. And I was like, well, looking 5 years down the road, I was 25 at the time, and I was like, I don't want to be that 30-year-old guy who's like still making very little money in AAA, trying to like grind by, have a family, whatever. And so he told me like the best I was going to do out of spring training was going to be a backup in AA. So that was it for me. I decided that.
So you were backup in AA, but made it to AAA?
Yeah. So this is crazy. So the first year when I got drafted, there's a bunch of levels of the minor leagues. There's like rookie ball.
Yeah.
There's low A. There's A ball. There's high A, AA, and AAA. So there's like 6 levels.
And I feel like it's not discussed a lot. Like I don't know. I don't feel like I know a decent amount about baseball, but I don't know like those levels and how they interact. And
Right. So the draft happens in June, which is like midway through the season. So after you get drafted, there's a short season program that starts in like the end of June, early July. And that's usually where you go when you get drafted. So that's low A, short season A ball. And then there's A ball, and then there's high A. when I got drafted, they sent me straight to high A, which in my brain I was like, oh, this is sick. You know, I'm skipping 2 levels right away. Like I'm kind of on the fast track. Like, this is great. And so I skipped low A, I skipped A ball, and I went straight to high A. And I played probably almost every day there at that position, and really didn't know, or at that level, and didn't really know how the whole system worked. And so I was like, this is great. So what I realized is at the end of the year, the A ball team, the team below me, they were like on the run for the championship. They were like the best team in the league. And so what happened is the team I was on didn't have a shortstop at the time. And so they just moved me into that slot. And then the A ball team, instead of like bringing up their shortstop up and kind of ruining that team, they wanted to keep that team together to hopefully win a championship. And that team did. They went on and won a championship. Damn. And so the following year, that A ball team moves up to high A, and I stay in high A. And now I'm in the mix with this team that had just been together, who had won a championship. And so now I was basically the backup to their shortstop. Yeah. Whereas if I would have went straight to low A, where the rest of my draft class went, I probably would have been a starter. I would have moved up with them and been a starter the whole way through with them. And I don't know if my path would have been different or not. But going so my first full season, I'm like a week into the season, and they call me in the office and they're like, hey, you're going to double A. And I was like, Jesus, this is sick. Like,
when you do that, do you get a pay raise, or is it just?
It's very small. It's like an extra like $200 a month or something. It's not much, you know. And you're making like, I think in high A I was making like $1,100 a month, and in double A it was like $1,300 or something. Like, not much money. And so I'm like, sweet. Like I'm on the fast track. I'm now, you know, my very first full season. A weekend, I was playing pretty well, get promoted to double A. I'm like, this is sick. So I'm there for 5 days. I get 1 at bat, and they send me back down to high A. And at this point, I'm like, all right, that was weird. I don't know what happened. I found out that someone had got hurt, and they sent me up to kind of like be the safety blanket. If somebody else got hurt, they could throw me in. Yeah. So I go back to high A. I'm playing like once every like 2 or 3 days now, doing pretty well still. And then I get called in the office like 3 weeks later, like, hey, you're going to AAA. Jesus. And I was like, well, how long am I going to be in AAA for? Like, you guys just sent me to AA for 5 days. Like, how long am I going to be there for? Yeah. And he's like, we don't know, but so-and-so got hurt. He pulled his hamstring. You might be there for a while. So I'm like, all right. So when this happens, it's like they tell you at 10 o'clock at night, and you're on a flight at like 5 a.m. the next morning. Yeah. Like and so it's like you pack up your whole apartment. Yeah. And you go. Like it's
what city are you in?
I was in Port Charlotte, Florida at the time. Okay. Yeah. And then our AA was in Montgomery, Alabama, and our AAA was in Durham, North Carolina. Gotcha. And so I fly to AAA, and I meet them in Gwinnett, Georgia. Georgia, yeah. And we're playing the Braves there, and I'm there for a 3-game series. I play 2 out of the 3 games. I think I had like 2 hits, and I had like a couple really good at bats. And then after the 3rd day, they sent me back to high A. And I'm like,
back to high A?
Yeah. Damn. And I'm like, what is going on?
Who sent you back? Like, who's it?
The AAA team. It's just like the manager will call you in the office. They're like, hey, you know, we're sending you back. Yeah. And so here I am. I'm on a flight back to Port Charlotte. Jesus. And then so I'm playing there. And literally like 2 weeks later, they call me back in the office. They're like, hey, you're going back to AAA. And I'm like, my coach, his name was Jimmy Moe. I'm like, Jimmy Moe, like, am I going there for a week? Am I going there for a month? Like, you got to tell me something. Like, should I pack my whole apartment again, or should I just like take like a couple of like change of clothes? Like, what do I need to take? And he's like, I can't tell you. I have no idea. Jeez.
So when you're moving, are you finding new apartments, or they just have places where players
like dorm type stuff?
So I had an apartment in Port Charlotte that was mine and a roommate's of mine and my roommates. And then
another player?
Yeah, another player. Yeah. And then when you move up, they'll put you in a hotel for like 3 days, and they'll give you like 3 days to basically find a spot.
In 3 days, you're probably playing.
And
those
you're
3
playing,
days.
and so it's like, you know, they have so basically like they'll tell you to like, you know, get a roommate with one of the team. Get a room with one of the guys who's playing there. Yeah. You know, or sleep on his couch or something until you find something. So the second time I went to Durham, they put me up in like this sick hotel, like right in the middle of Durham, and after 3 days, I was like, I was like, hey, how much longer am I going to be here? Like, should I find an apartment or what? And the manager's like, don't worry about it. We're going to keep you in this hotel until whatever happens.
Yeah.
So I ended up like living out of this hotel for like a month straight. So I was
Cool.
in AAA
Yeah,
for like a
not
month.
bad, yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, this is sweet. You know, I played quite a bit up there and did pretty well. But then after a month, they were like, hey, our guy's back. You're going back to high A. And then
Yeah.
I was in high A, and, you know, I kind of got stuck in like I said, that super utility role. So I was playing like once every 3 days and never really getting the chances I thought I deserved. And so I was getting pretty frustrated with it. And
Damn.
so after about 5 years, I was like,
Called it quits.
it's time.
Do you have any players that you're playing with that make it to the big leagues or anything, and you're like, God damn,
Yeah.
like I'm better than that person?
Yeah, that's a hard thing is like I'm not going to say I'm better than him, but like our number 1 overall pick in my draft was this kid, Tim Beckham. He was a high school kid, got a ton of money to sign. He was a shortstop. He made it to the big leagues, and I mean, he's a great player. He's really good. He's playing third base now for the Orioles. He might be moved back to shortstop now that Machado is with the Dodgers. But he was like one of those kids where, you know, great player, but I felt like if I played every day, I could be right there with him as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I
what's
never had the chance.
What's like a bit? You said he signs out of high school, big money. What does that mean? From like you're drafted out of high school, you get a contract, and then you're in AAA. Like how does that work?
Yeah, so when you get drafted, you have to sign like a 6-year contract with that team.
Damn.
And so your rights are to that team for 6
wow.
years.
That's everybody who gets drafted?
So out of high school, I think it's 6 years, and out of college, I think it's 5 years.
Wow.
And then after 5 years, you become basically a free agent. And then what you can do at that point, what's nice is you can start to negotiate contracts for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you can make, you know, $10,000 a month, you know, if you're a good enough player in AAA. Like you can make that kind of money.
Out of that first contract or in the first contract?
No. The free agent contract.
Gotcha.
The first contract, it's very minimum. Like you get a signing, like you make your money in your signing bonus. So if you don't get a big signing bonus, you're basically paying to play baseball because you're making like $1,100 a month.
Yeah.
And who does? Just first rounders?
No, usually like the top, I would say 10 to 15 round guys make pretty good money.
Okay.
What's pretty good money on signing bonus?
Like in the 10th round, it's usually like most guys will get like right around like $80,000 in like the 10th round.
Okay.
First round,
damn.
could be
Yeah.
first round could be like $6.5 million.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
second round could be $1 million.
Dude, 80 grand at 22 out of college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or out
no.
of high school. Shit.
Yeah.
That's money.
It's good money, and you know, I was glad that I was able to get drafted high enough to make kind of money like that, or make that kind of money, because then in the off season, I didn't have to get a job. I could focus on training for baseball.
Yeah.
And you know, getting stronger and become more athletic. And,
Yeah.
You know, so it definitely helped, and it helped during the season to not feel like, oh man, I got to worry about where my next meal's coming from. Because I played with some kids who, you know, all they had was baseball, and they were drafted very late, and they got like $1,000 in a plane ticket.
Yeah.
Damn.
And you know, they didn't have enough money each month to pay their rent and eat, so it was like they were eating like extra food at the fields and stuff. And it's like, you think it's crazy that you're playing professional baseball and
Poor.
you can't find a quality meal to eat. Like,
Sure.
That's crazy.
Do they feed you lunch and dinner? So you have 2 meals a day probably, right?
Yeah, so they usually feed you lunch for sure. But lunch is usually like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or like
God,
some
good
like deli
PB&J
meat.
sounds great right now.
I mean, that PB&J.
Oh man, maybe a decade.
It sounds great here, but like if you eat PB&J and then you go out in, you know, the middle of Florida summer where it's 100 degrees with 100% humidity,
You're sweating
and
peanut
just
butter,
like,
man.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, and do they have a strength coach or anything?
Yeah, so you have a strength coach. Strength coach is really good, but at that point, you know, you're required like 2 workouts a week basically, and each workout's like a total body workout, and it's mainly just to like maintain and like prehab type stuff to make sure you're not gonna go out and get injured or anything, but it's not. You know, it's just trying to maintain the strength you've built up in the off season.
Right.
Yeah. So you chuck up the deuces. I'm out. You moved to LA.
Moved
now
to LA.
You're dating Danielle,
Yes.
right?
Shout out Danielle.
Now wife, DP, what up? But did you have any idea what you're going to do? Did you have any money? Did you have some of that money saved up?
Yeah,
still?
so I still had quite a bit of my money saved up, which was nice. And I also had a deal with Major League Baseball that they would pay for the rest of my schooling after I quit
Oh.
baseball.
Yeah, that's not
So
How does that work? Is that common?
yeah, it's pretty common. It's just something you have to negotiate right away. Like as soon as you get drafted, it's like you got to start talking about it because they'll kind of like play around with it. But you know, and the crazy thing is like I heard like over like $6 million a year goes unused because people don't use that money after they quit baseball. Like they just because you have 2 years to start. After you quit baseball, you have 2 years to start school. After those 2 years, you lose that money.
Damn.
And so I waited I think I waited like 6 months after I quit, and I started back, and I was doing Arizona State, but I was doing it through the online program.
Yeah.
And so like I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was like, I got to figure out how to make some money.
Yeah.
And so I started doing some like private lessons. Like so Danielle's a personal trainer. One of her clients had like a 12-year-old kid who was just a stud. And so since I was coming up professional baseball, Danielle was like, you should get with him. And so I started working with him.
So you weren't even planning to do that. I just kind of fell into it.
I just didn't know. Like I was
okay.
like, I have no idea what I'm going to do in LA. Like I was just like, the decision to quit baseball was like, it was kind of quick, but it was a thought process over like a year and a half. But like once it happened, it was like, it was quick. It was wild. And so like, I didn't really know. I didn't have like a plan B. I just knew I had to get my education. And
were you guys engaged already?
No. So we had met at Arizona State, and within 2 weeks I had left to go play baseball in Cape Cod, which is like a big time summer league for college players.
Yeah.
And while I was in Cape Cod, a whole bunch of things went down with ASU with all these sanctions and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I decided to transfer. And so I call her and I'm like, hey, I know we've been dating for like 2 months, but we've only like hung out for like 2 weeks.
Damn.
I'm transferring and I have no idea where I'm going.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a long distance? Do you want to try to make this work? Like what are we going to do here? I have no idea. And she had just gotten out of a long distance relationship. So I was like a little bit nervous about it. And she was like, yeah, we'll try to make it work. Like, let's just talk about it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And so, like July 25th, college starts like mid-August, and I'm transferring. I'm like, I don't know where to go. So eventually like Auburn rolls around and Auburn offers me a scholarship, and they're like, hey, we need you to play shortstop for us. Come on over. So that's how I ended up there. So long story short, Danielle and I were long distance for the first like 5 years.
And she was in Arizona.
She was in Arizona for the first year, and then she moved to LA as soon as she graduated from ASU. So like right after she graduated, she was coming out to LA to do personal training and to do sports modeling stuff.
Yeah. Interesting.
Dang. How did you like Auburn?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It's a cool campus.
It's a cool
Got
campus.
that southern heat though too.
Yeah, it was hot. I didn't really mind it though. Like I didn't notice it that much. I don't know if it's because I'm from Arizona. Like the only thing I noticed was the humidity, but it wasn't that bad at Auburn.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I loved it. I thought the school was amazing. The whole SEC. Like
Different world.
I'm like all in SEC now.
Definitely.
Like
yeah.
being in Arizona, I thought like the Pac-10 at the time was Pac-12 now, but I thought the Pac-10 was like the greatest thing in the world. And I went to Auburn. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
It's a different
Pac-10
world.
doesn't
Definitely
even
is.
like it's like
Definitely.
doesn't
I
compare.
remember the first tailgate I went for a football game, and I was like, "What the fuck? Where am I?"
Yeah, they're freaking
at Auburn?
wild.
Georgia.
At Georgia. It was a Georgia Auburn game though.
Our brother used to live in Athens.
Yeah.
Which is where Georgia is. Our older brother. I went to an Auburn football game. It was the first SEC football game I went to. A buddy of mine used to coach there. And we're just walking up the steps, and everyone's like, War Eagle, War Eagle. Everyone's dressed nicely.
Oh, yeah.
We're from the Midwest. Like, you go to games, you're in hoodies and
Right.
You're bundled
Dressed to
up.
stay warm. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not in Dockers and shirts or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like that whole Southern hospitality thing. Man.
Yeah.
It's like
girls
it's
in dresses.
real. Oh my god,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Different world.
For sure.
So you come out to LA, meet up with wifey or GF at the time,
Yep.
and then you don't know what you're gonna do. She kind of throws you this one baseball kid. So she's training the mom, right? You said
She's training the dad actually.
okay.
Yeah, and so she throws me this one baseball kid. I start working with him. Word of mouth. Next thing I know, I've got like 4 or 5 kids I'm working with.
just from word of mouth. You're
Just
not
from
even
word of
reaching
mouth.
out.
Like I never,
Damn.
like I didn't market anything because my focus was getting my education. I was like, I need to get this done. If I make some money on the side, it's great.
Yeah.
And then within like 2 months, I had like 15 kids that I was training pretty regularly. And I was like,
Wow.
holy crap, I could make some serious money out of this. And then I was working at the gym, and this guy approached me, and he's like, hey, I don't really know you, but I've watched you work out in the gym. I watch how you take care of yourself. I own a business right here on the promenade. You want to come work for me? And at that point I was like, you know, like I'm making some money doing this personal training stuff, but you know, this guy's offering me like a real 9 to 5. Like I can make some serious money here. So
Yeah.
I take it and I'm working for him, and it's an office job. I'm sitting behind a computer, like crunching numbers, going on Excel, like just like.
Wait, so he hired you because you look good and
he just like the
you
way
worked
that
out
like,
well?
yeah, he was like, I watch you in the gym. He's like, I'm watching the gym, just like, you know, you take care of yourself. He's like, I can tell that he's like, you look like an athlete. You look like you know, you're very dedicated. He's like, you know,
Sure.
I own his dad.
Or like the work ethic of an athlete.
Yeah.
His dad owned a distribution company, and they were like one of the first ones to bring Adidas to America. So I mean, like he had this huge like distribution company, and that's what I was doing. I was helping distribution with shoes coming from like all over the world into here. And so I did that for like 6 months, and I was like, our office was on like the Third Street Promenade and Santa Monica, and so I was like looking out my window and just like watching these people like walking on the promenade, and I was just like, it's like, man, like I can't be behind this desk. So I went in and told him, I was like, hey, I just, you know, I can't do this. So I ended up quitting that job, and I was still working with my 15 kids that I was doing the training with. So I was like, all right, I got to figure out how to make this work. So I ended up taking a job with it was called a baseball academy, but it's really just like a club ball baseball team. Yeah. And that really helped me get a lot of clients. And then after about 2 years, I quit the baseball academy because I didn't like the way it was ran. I didn't like the owners. I didn't like the way they were pushing baseball onto kids. It just felt. How
old are the kids?
Anywhere from 8 years old to 16, 17 years old.
Oh, so it's like you move up in the academy. Every year
the kids go year to year, but like I'd always stay with like the same age group.
Sure.
Like I had an 8-year-old team, a 10-year-old team, and then I had a 14-year-old team that I was coaching. And so it was great because I was getting private clients on the side from it, but it got to a point where like I just hated the way baseball was being pushed on these kids and the way baseball was being pushed on their parents. Like, hey, if you don't play in the fall, your kid's gonna fall behind. And I was like,
so crazy. Yeah,
it blew my mind. And so I got out of that. And at that point, I had enough private training that I was, you know, making plenty of money and doing my own thing. Yeah. That the coaching the baseball didn't really make sense anymore. It was basically I was losing money those 4 hours a week that I was coaching the baseball that I could be taking private training on.
Right. Yeah. Right. So that makes sense. And I assume for coaching, you were getting paid probably like some stipend or something.
Yeah. So I was getting paid, you know, every month. I had like a salary every month.
Okay. But it was more lucrative to train the people.
Yeah. So I was making, you know, per hour, I was making way more money per hour doing private training than I was the coaching in the academy.
Yeah. And where do you do your private training? Like parks?
Yeah. So there's this little league in West LA that I've gone in with. They've been great for me, and they've got all these cages, and you know, they just kind of let me come in, and it works out great for them too, because most of the kids I train are all West LA kids. So I'm helping the little league get better because I'm training a lot of their kids, and so in return they let me use the cages and
that's cool.
Field space.
Great.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So zero overhead.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess baseballs occasionally, right?
Yeah. So like baseballs and some turf shoes here and there. But
yeah.
Other than that, you know, my office is like it's a batting cage.
You can't beat that.
Yeah, definitely.
How many people do you train a day? Like typically?
Usually 4. Like I usually got about 4 a day.
So 4 hours.
Uh-huh.
God, that's not bad.
And because it's kids, you know, like right now in the summer it's different, but during the school year, I mean, they don't get to school till 3, so I'm usually working from like 3:30 till like 8 roughly.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's still not bad.
Nice. No, it's great because now I have my whole mornings to kind of, you know, do my thing. I can do a lot of work with Danielle's business, or I can go to the gym, or I can play Fortnite, or I can kind of do.
You're big into Fortnite.
I can do kind of whatever I want in the morning. It's great. Yeah,
that is good.
I do want to get into Fortnite, by the way. I was talking to Timmy about it. I just want to play once.
Yeah,
but I don't want to be.
Here's the thing, though. But like, I tried to get him into like, you know, we love MMA, we love UFC and stuff. I was like, this is like last Christmas. I said, you know what, we need like something cool to do. I said, let's buy like a PS4. I don't even know what the new fucking gaming system is.
Right.
I said, let's get the new UFC game. And he's like, no. I was like, all right, motherfucker. Like shot it down completely, like not even like a thought, like, okay, let's play a video game. He's like, no.
I get caught up in things. Whatever I do, I get caught up though. I don't want to be spending hours.
See, that's the problem with Fortnite is it's like, and my wife doesn't really understand. Like Danielle's like, I don't get why you play it so much, but like you guys know, like being athletes, like you're competitive.
Yeah.
You know,
whatever.
And it's like the only thing in my life right now that's competitive is like Fortnite, like, and it's crazy competitive. Like it's you versus 100 other people, you know?
Yeah.
And so it sounds really stupid, but you know, I get competitive. Like I don't like rage quit or anything. Like I don't like throw anything, but it's like, it's satisfying to like roll into a game and beat all those people. It's like, you know, it's fun.
I'm going to play. I'm going to come over and play.
Yeah.
Did you see what Fortnite did? How they bypassed the Google Play Store?
No, what?
Yeah. So I guess you download it directly from their website and not Google Play.
Okay.
So they bypassed it, and they're pissing a lot of people off because they wanted to do it for financial reasons because they take 30%.
Oh, yeah.
If Google Play does. So it was like $50 million or something like that
wow.
that they were losing giving it to Google basically. So they bypassed it so they can download it. But I guess there's a lot of security things that could happen potentially now.
Yeah.
Even like not just like in Fortnite, but like within like, you know, fake people creating apps and going through there. But yeah, they bypassed it, and the CEO was like, all because of finances.
But Fortnite has been like the most brilliant, or Epic Gaming has been like the most brilliant marketing. Like that, the game is completely free. You don't have to pay a dime to play this game. You know, if you have a PC or a Mac, you can just go on, download it, and play it.
Or a cell phone.
Or a cell phone, yes. And but they have like in-game purchases that are like cool skins, like you can put on, but it doesn't.
He's so into it.
It doesn't, but it doesn't affect like the gameplay. So like, it's not like you can pay to get better. It's just you can go in and play. And so now they've got millions and millions of people around the world playing this game, and they create like these cool new skins, and like all these kids are like, "Mom, can I have a skin?" They're like, "Yeah, sure." So it's like $20 for a skin.
Our cousin, Russell, I know he plays, and he'll buy stuff from time to time. Or Andy, they were talking about our cousins who are.
And so they're making just like millions and millions of dollars a month just from selling stuff that doesn't even matter on the game. But what they've done is they just giving people a platform to play on, and then they make their money on the in-game parts.
That's so smart.
Of it.
I heard Ninja. Is he the I don't know if he makes the most money, but I know he's up there at least. $500K a month. Yeah. Just in streams. Not in the sponsorships. Not in crazy.
Right.
Wow.
$500,000.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's these streamers like I saw the other day that the streamer, some dude went on to this guy's stream while he was playing. He's like, "Hey, if you win the next game, I've partnered with this company and we're willing to give you $70,000. We'll donate you $70,000 right now if you win this next game."
No kidding.
Jesus.
So he rolls into a game, and sure enough, he freaking wins, and instantly, like, you see the donation pop up on a screen, like $70,000. So I mean,
who was it? What was the brand?
I don't know what the brand was. It was some brand that they make like stickers for like video games or something. I don't even know what it was.
But that's such a good idea because you're talking about it. Now we're talking about it. There's other people that don't follow and talk.
Well, yeah. And the guy who was streaming at the time, I mean, he had like, I don't know, like 10,000 people probably watching him. Okay. And he kept like saying the company's name. So it was like those 10,000 people just keep hearing that name. And you know, so it's wild. I mean, these people are making serious money. I think you can get scholarships to college now for Fortnite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's
good for them. It's
crazy. It's a game, but it's like.
But e-games in general have been blowing up and are continuing to blow up.
Yeah.
The NBA is their own 2K league.
Right.
I'm surprised NFL doesn't do anything with Madden yet, do they?
I don't think so.
No, but Madden's been pretty big on esports.
They've. I mean, I remember B. Delph, my buddy in
10,
college.
15 years ago.
Yeah. And I was a senior, 06 in college. He was doing that travel Madden tournament around the world thing.
But NFL doesn't like get behind that at that time, at least.
No.
That wasn't like the NBA is doing, having drafts.
No, different. Players. Yeah, different.
Yeah. It should though.
I think the NBA owners like Mark Cuban. I mean, those guys are investing big time into esports now. Like, and not even just basketball esports, like the whole like Call of Duty, and League of Legends, and like all those games. Like they're
it's
creating their own teams
money.
And.
Yeah. What was it in Vegas? They have the new like 10,000 seat arena.
Yeah, arena. Yeah,
just for e-gaming.
Yep.
So Epic announced this year that within the next, in 2019, they're going to give away over $100 million in cash prizes for esports for Fortnite.
Crazy.
Whereas last year, all the esports combined only gave away $107 million.
Wow.
So Fortnite is like way outperforming everybody in how much money.
Why is it so much better? Why is it so much bigger?
I don't know.
Because
there's just never been a game like it. So there's been like these battle royale games where you jump in and it's you versus everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But Fortnite introduced a strategy to where you can like build your own cover and build your own forts or whatever. And nobody's ever done that before. And so that's changed the game. It's made it to where you can do like, there's endless possibilities to what you can basically do. And so and every week they bring out a new update for the game as well. So there's something new in the game every week. So it's
that's
like,
cool, dude.
Yeah.
I'm getting in it. I'm in.
Yeah. You got to play.
You gonna go desktop or computer or desktop,
Desktop.
or phone?
I
think I would go desktop too.
Desktop.
Yeah. Don't go
Old school
phone.
Doom.
Phone is
style.
hard.
I'm not going to do it today. Or I'll do it. So tomorrow I go to Denver. Then we go to Vegas. Then I'm in Cleveland. So I'll be back in like 2 weeks.
That's perfect.
I'm gonna
time
load
to
it
do
on
it
the
your phone
desktop.
though.
I don't want to do it on my phone.
Yeah. Don't do it on the phone.
Not as good of an experience.
It's not good. It's really,
I feel like you're just doing it to do
too
it.
much going on the phone.
Yeah.
To
Really?
be good. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Like you're getting text messages, people calling you.
Yeah. It's just.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Okay. I might get in. I'll watch you do it.
All right.
I
2
might get
weeks.
in.
We'll create our own.
Am I back in
esports
2
team.
weeks? The
Yeah,
20. No.
The 28th.
Really won't be back till like the 30th. No.
So
Till
we're
like this.
We're going.
Dude, I don't know. Like September sometime is really when we're back.
Yeah, back. So we're going to Vegas. Can I talk about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's signed. So we're going to Vegas to shoot. I told you this walking up to shoot with Air Asia at the UFC Performance Institute, shooting some content. They have like a girl who won a contest. Is that how it works? Won a contest with Air Asia. They're flying her out. And we're doing like vlog style behind the scenes stuff. But what we're doing is every week we have to fly in for a month. So fly in, shoot for a day, fly out.
Oh, that's crazy.
Which is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, but we also had plans of being in like Cleveland. I have a wedding and my daughter's birthday. And so it went from just LA to Vegas to like Cleveland to Vegas to back to Cleveland to LA to Vegas. So like.
And we were talking to another UFC fighter who's fighting on the August 25th card, which is in Boise.
No,
right?
Nebraska.
Lincoln, Nebraska. That's right. Lincoln, Nebraska. And so we were maybe going to have to fly there the 25th. So we'd be Vegas, or I'd be Denver, Vegas, Lincoln, Cleveland, back to Vegas.
Right.
It would have been
right. And then we told you about Chicago too. So
Yeah.
even in between there is Chicago. So that's why I don't think we're going to be back till like September
whatever.
6th.
We'll get back.
Another week.
We'll get in.
Yeah.
So no Fortnite for you guys for a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once
unless we start in Cleveland.
I don't have the desktop. I'm not going to do it
you
on a
need
laptop.
desktop? You don't want to do a laptop?
I don't want to do it on a laptop.
You want the
I
full
want to be in. If I'm going to be in, I'm
He
going
wants
to
to
be in.
get in.
Yeah.
I want headphones
I'm
on.
I'm gonna have to buy a desktop.
Or we can just share it.
What if we're playing against each other?
Yeah.
We can
could be
create
fun.
just a man cave, and then you can come and bring your desktop.
When
I'm
I
down.
get my new place.
All right, deal.
That'll be it.
I like it.
Yeah. Anywho, back to
Yeah,
Back
I
to
don't know
business and
where.
BS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what rabbit hole we jumped down.
That's the BS. That's
what
the,
Fortnite will do to you. Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I
It
know.
sucks
and
you in.
I don't even know really what it is. I mean, I know what it is, but it sucked us in for 20 minutes, and we haven't even played.
Yeah.
I know. Well, we will
Yeah.
soon enough. So back to Danielle and you. So you do, what do you do with her? I know you shoot video stuff for her, but like how involved are you with her and her? Talk a little bit about her, like her personal training business.
Yeah. So about last year, she launched 2 new fitness ebooks, and it was her first 2 ebooks she launched. And before that, she had been doing just personal training in LA.
Yeah.
And she was really successful with that. But after about 8 years, she kind of got burnt out, and she wanted to.
It's a bitch, dude.
It is, and she wanted to reach a lot more people than just, like the 8 people she was training every day.
Yeah.
She wanted to be able to reach a much bigger audience, so she started creating her own online guides. And over the past 9 years, she's built an incredible following on Instagram. And she was like, I've kind of got the background for this. I've got the following.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, hey, I'm all in. Like on your business, I'm all in. Whatever you need me to do.
Yeah.
I'll learn it. I'll figure it out.
Maddie.
Yeah,
Well,
he's the best.
And here's why. Like, honestly, like I don't really like the way the youth baseball's going right now. Like I don't like the direction it's going.
Okay.
So like I could start my own teams and have my own business doing that, but like then I feel like I'd be like joining in with everybody else and just like riding this wave that I don't really agree with.
Okay.
And so like I like my training part of it, but I was like, I like her brand a lot. And I was like, whatever you need, I'm in. And she was like, well, you know, I'm going to have a lot of photos and video done. And so I freaking went on YouTube and started watching Casey Neistat videos. And, you know, I was like, damn, I freaking love this guy. Like he's awesome. His videos are awesome. And so I bought a camera and I went out and I started like just filming anything I could, like trying to make Casey Neistat style videos. And then once I got comfortable with editing, I was like, hey, let me start doing all your video stuff. And she was like, perfect.
Cool.
And so, yeah, I do all of her videography. I do some of her pictures for her. I do most of like the back end stuff on her website, like all of her website design.
Oh, okay.
I do all that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
look at you.
Yeah, just trying to, you know, I think her business can really blow up, and she's doing some big things right now that are in the works. So
nice.
You know, I'm kind of all in on that in the morning, and then at nights, you know, I go and do my work. So
Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah, his real work.
Well, I know you guys just did the shooting of the Kick-Ass Training Guide 3.
Yeah, so Kick-Ass Training Guide 3 is coming out.
Who's the focus? Like, who's the demo?
So this one, most of her demo is females ages, I would say like 25 to 50.
But like
probably.
But like not beginners, right? Like
well, Kick-Ass Training Guide 1.0, anybody can do it. Like you can jump in 2.0, anybody can do it too. But it's definitely, it'd be better to do like the progression of going like 1.0 to 2.0, because 1.0, like it's tough, but you can get through, and then 2.0 is like takes the next level. But it's mostly body weight, high intensity interval training. 3.0 is going to include a lot more weights and barbells and dumbbells, and so you know it's going to be, it'll still be high intensity, but it's going to include heavier weights and maybe a little bit more rest time, and not just like circuit training.
Cool. So
I think her demographic will still be the same, you know, 25 to 40-year-old or 50-year-old women.
Yeah.
But it's just it's including now weights, which will, you know, just give them something new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're not loving the baseball. When are you gonna start your own baseball content stuff?
Well, I love the baseball. I love what I'm doing.
Yeah. I
just don't love. Like, I don't love club baseball. I think it's, I've got like opinions about it, and you know, I don't think playing baseball year round is healthy for kids who are young. Like if you're 16 or 17 and you're good, then yeah, you should probably be playing baseball year round to, you know, to try to get seen by scouts and to get into college.
Yeah.
But when you're 8 years old, it's like, what's the point? Like, I would much rather, like I tell these parents this all the time, I would much rather you invest time in your kids, you know, creating them as an athlete rather than creating them as a baseball player. Like if they just go out and play baseball all day long, it's like, go watch a baseball game, and those kids are probably running full speed for maybe a minute out of the 2 hours they play.
Yeah.
Because you know, while you're hitting, if you're not hitting, you're sitting on the bench, you know, and you're waiting for your at bat, and then you go out on
seeds, chewing gum.
Yeah, and then you go on the field, and you might get 2 or 3 balls hit you an entire game.
Yeah.
So the other times you're not really moving. I mean, you might move, but you're not like changing direction.
Get a 10 by 10 foot radius.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of like jogging here and there. So it's like you're not really building a ton of athletic ability through baseball. Whereas with like football or basketball, you're constantly changing direction. You're constantly jumping. You're constantly running. So I tell the parents, I'm like, you know, spring and summer, like play baseball, but in the fall and winter, throw them into something else. And the problem with that is all these parents are afraid their kid's going to get left behind because these club ball teams are playing all year round.
Sure.
And the club ball coach will literally say, hey, if he doesn't play in the fall, it's going to be tough for him to get back on this team in the spring because all these kids are going to be so far ahead of him. And I'm like, they're 8 years old. Like, who's going to be ahead of him? Like,
right.
That's crazy.
I was like,
why do they do that? Is it because they want to keep a team together? Are they making money?
The club ball team's making money. So, and that's where the problem is. It feels like it's all business, which I get. Like, I'm not hating on because they're making a ton of money. Like, they're killing it money wise.
Damn, yeah.
But it feels like they're taking advantage of the kids, and they're like I just
don't know any better.
Yeah. It's like it's $350 a month per kid. I mean, you get 13 kids on a team, and you got 20 teams. I mean, think about how much money that is a month that the guy who owns the whole organization is making.
Damn.
And he's paying the coaches minimal. I mean, so for him, it's like yeah, I'm gonna keep getting as many teams. So like one of the coaches a couple weeks ago told me, he's like, dude, he's like, we've got 9 8-year-old teams this year. He's like, you know how great that is? He's like, that's job security for the next like 6 years.
Jesus.
And I'm like, yeah, it's great business wise, but you guys are just like preying on these kids and these families, and so I don't like that. And I also don't think baseball, from like a mental standpoint, is good to play all year round either. Like there's so much failure in baseball. Like you're constantly failing, and I'm like if you went to your job and you failed 70% of the time, like how would you feel about yourself at the end of the day? Like it's rough. And so if you're dealing with that every day for a year, these kids, they come to Little League and they're not excited to be out there. They're just going through the motions.
Yeah.
So
that's tough.
So I don't like that. I mean, I might start my own club thing at some point. Yeah. But I got to figure out a way, like in the fall and winter, to where it's not like we'll play baseball, but it's going to be much more developing you as an athlete than it is a baseball player, because
Will it more be training stuff?
Yeah, I think like training, or like I've even like toyed with the thought of keeping a baseball team together, but having that baseball team join like a football league and like making the kids actually play football, or joining like a basketball league. Yeah.
Like the team camaraderie type stuff.
Yeah, like we would play all sports, but the problem is a lot of the parents aren't into that because they're like, oh, well, we want our kid playing baseball. Yeah. And I'm like, why? Like, why do you want your kid playing baseball all year round? Like, I get the big leagues is like the dream, but like, that's a dream. In order to get there, your kid can't just be a good baseball player. He's got to be a good athlete.
And 90%, 99% of those people, those 8-year-olds, aren't fucking making it to Major League Baseball or minor league baseball.
No, or even college. It's like, and then, the goal for these parents should be to set their kids up to have the best high school experience they can. Sure. Because everyone will play high school sports, but that might be the last time you play competitive sports with all your friends. You can play like a men's league now, but it's like, it's not the same. Right. So that should be the goal. Like high school should be the goal. And then if you get to high school and your kid like at 15 or 16 is like really excelling, then it's like, all right, now let's shift our goal to college. Sure. But until that point, it's like kids develop so much between the ages of 12 and 16. That's like at 12 years old, I don't care how good a kid is, I would never tell that kid like, yeah, you're going to be a D1 athlete. Because maybe he's just bigger and stronger than everybody at 12 years old. And when he's 16, they've all caught up.
Right. Yeah. He's 5'11", and he's a monster, but then he stops growing and he wants to be a lineman.
We all had guys like that in our school. 7th grade monsters. Yeah. And then they just level out and they're just like everybody else. Right. And not super athletic. And so they're not as good of a player as everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they're used to dominating.
Yeah. And now they're not dominating anymore. So.
No, hell no. So what are you going to do then? So if you think maybe you'll do a club program, but if you don't, what's goal? And Danielle does well, but isn't making $10 million a year.
So the goal is to right now, our big goal is to really blow up Danielle's business because hers is all online, and if we can blow that business up, it'll give us the freedom to travel. It'll give us the freedom to move if we wanted to. Like all of our family's in Arizona, so if we wanted to go back to Arizona, we could run her business from Arizona. And I can always find ways to make money with baseball. Like I'm not concerned about that. And I'm making enough money right now with my private training that, if I built on it, great. If I don't, it's okay as long as Danielle's business is building because, I think the end game, there's much more money in her business than there could be in mine, for what I want to do with it. If I wanted to go the club ball route and just make as much money as I could, I think I could do that, but I don't think I would enjoy it. I don't think it'd be one of those things where I'm doing what I love to do.
What if it was how could you do online baseball training?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a market like Danielle's for your baseball type stuff?
Yeah, there is. It's very saturated. I mean, there's tons and tons. Like you can go on YouTube and find an instructional hitting video. Yeah. Any way you want. So a lot of it's got to be, you got to build yourself. Like you got to build your own brand basically and build a following behind you. Kind of like what Danielle's done. Because you can do the same with fitness. You can go online and find any fitness tutorial you want. Yeah. But she's already got, almost 30,000 followers on Instagram where I've got like 1,000. And so I can
shout out to that 1,000.
Shout out 1,000.
2 of them are right here.
know.
But
So-
she had 1,000 followers too.
Yeah. But the way I look at it is like she's got that now. Like I would rather spend my time helping to build hers because she's there already than like, spending the next 6 or 7 years trying to build mine up just so I can start, selling instructional videos online or whatever. Because, you got to have a following that believes in you, that's going to buy from you. Otherwise they'll just go somewhere else or get it for free somewhere.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember we had, did you ever watch those in middle school? God, who was the guy? And Fred McGriff was this. You know what I'm talking about?
The Tom Umansky, the school of baseball.
Yes. Yeah. I remember my baseball coach gave us probably tapes. I was going to say DVD, but probably tapes. This would be like late 90s.
Definitely wasn't DVDs.
No. Yeah.
No,
it would have
no.
been. And we would pop it in, and it was like Fred McGriff throwing into the garbage can and shit like that.
The Tom Umansky.
I do remember those now.
School of baseball.
Yeah. That is crazy.
I don't remember watching. I remember like seeing.
I know.
Infomercial.
I don't know
They
that
produced back to back national champions.
Yeah.
Wonder if they're still doing that back to back. They're on like the 23rd back to back.
Is that guy still around?
I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, it's changed so much. Like he was like the first one to do something like that.
Yeah.
First one with a camera, probably.
Yeah, right. And now it's like everyone's got a camera. And like a lot of these big league guys are doing it, and
do they?
It's good. Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, Maddie, I believe that is our time for today.
Hey,
we appreciate you coming by.
Number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, we'll have to do it again
Absolutely.
with wifey.
Yeah, we'll get Danielle in here.
Bring her out here.
Definitely.
Or we'll just kick her out like in boys club.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Danielle. We'll get you in here.
Love you, babe.
We'll go Fortnite and then podcast.
Yeah.
I like it.
Deal. Let's do it.
Cool.
All right, Maddie.
Sounds good.
Peace.
Thank you guys.
We're out of here.